Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is June the 1st, 2017. This is home of long-term cryptocurrency thinking, golden hold, be in motion, healthy mindset, the must-stop place to keep up with Bitcoin current events. And this is my second show of the day. Of course, this is the monthly Ask Me Anything, where you can ask me anything. And please, if you need Bitcoin news, and we do have the best news here, I feel. I'm biased, it's my channel. Check out the links below to the show from earlier in the day and yesterday's show, the link to the Simon Dixon interviews, all the great links are below. I know a lot of you don't like the style of Ask Me Anything, but we did have a show earlier, so you can just click on that link below. You'll get to the right place, etc., etc. If you want me to come visit you guys, remember I do appearances. You can email me at adam@tresorhelp.com. Many of you know that you could reserve a spot in this show by emailing me your question with a tip, and one person emailed me their question with a tip, and the question is actually listed below. I'm going to read it in a second, and that's how we're going to start off the show, with this excellent question that was emailed to me. Now, for the rest of you who are in the live chat, please pound that like button, of course. But don't type your questions just yet. Wait a little bit, wait till I answer this guy's question, and then you can start to type in your questions. I'll try to get to as many questions as I can. I don't want this to go 2.5 hours like last time. So also, oh yeah, the schedule. I wanted to mention tomorrow, Friday, This Week in Bitcoin will be on at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're back to one show tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a show at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about ASIC Boost and have a special guest on, Rocky. So, all right, let us begin with me reading this excellent question. Again, if you don't like to ask me anything, this style of show, check out the links below and you can go read the news. And I really urge everyone to check out the show I did before. I don't want it to be skipped over. It's got the news of the day, you know, everything that's going on this wild day. We're around $2,400 in Bitcoin. It's just below $2,400. Amazing, amazing, amazing times we live in. And also let me just check the chat. Let me just make sure the chat, everything's all right in there. Everybody hears me all right in there? Here, all right, someone's already asking a question, even though I said not to ask a question yet. But hey, okay, I assume everyone pound that like button. Yes, indeed, people. All right, I am going to read the question here, and you guys can read also. It's in the notes section. Some background to my question. I started putting 10% of my savings into Bitcoin about 2 years ago. Before that, I had good savings habits, about 50% of take-home salary. Wow, that's very good. Which have gone into index funds in my 401k, IRAs, taxable accounts. Obviously, Bitcoin has blown my other investments out of the water return-wise. I subscribe to the Boglehead investment philosophy pioneered by John Bogle, I don't even know how to pronounce it, the founder of Vanguard. This philosophy dictates that you shouldn't have too much of your wealth in one asset class in order to diversify risk. That's true. Since the Bitcoin price increases of the past 6 months or so, my 10% Bitcoin allocation, and by the way, this is before it went above 2,000, I believe he sent me this. My 10% Bitcoin allocation has risen to about 40% of my net worth. I still feel that Bitcoin is a good investment, but I'm kind of a cognitive dissonance because my Bitcoin position is becoming a significant portion of my net worth. Alone in my crypto appreciation among my family and peers. If I were to bring Bitcoin up in conversation with friends and family, or in Boglehead's investment forum, they think putting money into Bitcoin is about as sensible as putting money into penny stocks or rhodium futures. So here's the question. someone that's debt-free without dependence, what is your recommended allocation to Bitcoin? Does this change if a price rise makes Bitcoin comprise a larger portion of your portfolio than intended? So let's review here, everyone. This guy has it going on. He is debt-free without dependence. So he's already in an elite level of American, okay? Because most Americans, they're not debt-free. He's in a special class. He has no dependence. Now I understand if you have kids or if you have a wife and all that, but you can actually avoid, you don't have to do those things, but especially the debt, you can avoid that. So this guy has already taken step one to put himself in the elite. And so the question you must understand is not for a regular man. This is for a man's man here. This is a man's man. I mean, what can you ask? Oh, else can you ask? The guy saves. So the first part, he's an example that everyone here should be emulating. I just wanted to point that out because we're here to learn today. So, okay, I wrote him back a little bit, and I'm going to extrapolate upon this answer. The answer, of course, involves the financial discipline the person has. You clearly have great financial discipline. Also, I believe in these modern times, a person should have as little as possible cash sitting in a checking account. A very important question that a person in your situation has to ask is, how much Bitcoin do I need today to have $1 million of Bitcoin in 2020? Okay, so that is part of the answer here. How much Bitcoin do you need? How much do you think Bitcoin is going to be worth in 2020? Do you want to have $1 million worth of Bitcoin in 2020? That's the amount of Bitcoin you need. That's the amount of Bitcoin. How much that makes up of your portfolio is either here nor there, all right? You've got to get into the position where you're going to be a millionaire in terms of Bitcoin in the year 2020. And I mean just the Bitcoin. So you're not counting your house, not counting all your other stuff. So are you already in that position? Do you already have that many Bitcoin? If you are, you should feel just comfortable the way things are. I mean, you're doing a great job. The other thing you have to keep in mind, and I guess for people, I'm brought up, I don't like to have a lot of cash sitting around. The reason I wouldn't want to have a lot of cash sitting around is because now your cash can be in Bitcoin. If you really needed that cash out, you could cash that Bitcoin out, you'd have your cash back again. So, and also you should have an income stream coming in. So you shouldn't have to keep a lot of cash in the bank because you've got it set up in your mind where you've got X amount coming in a month. And you should be, if you're a man's man, you've got to be able to live frugally at the snap of a finger. And I think you are. But I want everyone out there who's listening to this to know that I can't give a specific number that says, oh, well, 50% of your assets in Bitcoin, that's too much. Because I think you should at least have 10% of your assets in Bitcoin. I really do now. I really do. And if you're a single man who's got skill, who's got a job or has his own business or whatever, it should be, God, man, why not 30%? Why not? Because you should be, if everything went to heck and it went to zero, you should have the skills as a man to be able to just not go out to dinner for a year, not drink any soda, just cut down on your expenses. This is something you have to take into account here, that you're asking a question like, I don't want to get into a situation where I have no leeway, where, oh my God, all my money's scattered away. I can't make money anymore. What's going to happen? But you still are able to cut some fat. Trust me. You're still able to save on your expenses. A person should always be trying to save on their expenses. And if you're a man's man, you're going to be able to do that. And you have discipline. And when I'm saying the term man's man, I guess I mean just, do you have discipline? Can you plan ahead? And I believe the person asking this question can actually. So he plans so well ahead that he's asking someone, how should I allocate my money in the future? But in fact, you're such a good planner and you have such discipline that you don't have to worry about the exact allocations. Like if your Bitcoin allocation now is making up 70% of your portfolio, well, don't worry about it, first of all, because you're on your way to making $1 million. I think you've got it set up where your Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million in 2020, in your opinion. But at the same time, if you're that good of a planner, if everything went to heck, if your Bitcoin went to zero for some reason, or if you lost all your Bitcoin, you would be able to put yourself in a situation where on the drop of a dime, because you have no dependents, because you have no wife, because you are a smart guy, you would just be able to cut all the fat and retain your wealth very, very fast, just from saving, from living on a bare bones thing. I mean, people should see how I live here. I mean, how long have I owned this T-shirt for? I remember my grandmother brought this to me. I was just a little boy. I remember it because this T-shirt I would wear to sleep. It would go down to my feet, actually, and I didn't wear it for many, many, many years. That's why it's still alive. But still, the point is that you can cut the fat. Men who plan ahead, who have discipline. So this has turned into a lesson about discipline. Have discipline, and it doesn't matter how high your Bitcoin allocation is. Okay. It doesn't matter how high your Bitcoin allocation, if you have real discipline, and you'll be able to figure everything out. Now, if you have no discipline whatsoever, I advise people to learn it. But like, if you're just some Joe Schmo who's just like, dude, and for some reason you're like, I got to get Bitcoin, but you're like you work for the government. I mean, you have I don't know why you'd even have Bitcoin if you have no incentive to like better yourself. But let's say you do. Yeah, then don't go beyond 10% because you probably are living on the edge anyway, and you won't be able to cut any fat, and you go out for pizza every night anyway, and you just are addicted to pizza, and you just continue that lifestyle. So for a non-manly man, a man with no discipline whatsoever, just a pathetic soul, yeah, don't go beyond 10%. But for people, everybody else who wants to better themselves, keep on working on your discipline. As your discipline and your planning gets better, and as you transition from working for some horrible corporate entity to working for yourself, that's when you build up your Bitcoin state, because you know you have this new discipline. So as your discipline level goes up, your Bitcoin, it doesn't matter how high your Bitcoin allocation is. And again, remember, you can always cash out of the Bitcoin. That's another great thing about Bitcoin. You can always easily cash out of it if, God forbid, you need to. So that's why you shouldn't never have a bunch of cash sitting in your bank account anyway, because it's not gaining any interest. Have your cash doing something. Have it do. And again, this man has no debt at all. You can't have any debt. I mean, I don't think before you buy Bitcoin, you got to get rid of your debt, people. So I hope I answered your question. But I'd like to thank you for your question, because it really opened up a lot of discussion from me, and I hope people learned from it, actually, and learned a little bit about my lifestyle and the lifestyle that I promote, and that is self-sufficiency and living outside of the box, and just not feeling pressure from the outside world to conform. Don't conform. Conforming to society's rules, because this man even said everyone will laugh at him if he talks about Bitcoin, but still he keeps his Bitcoin. Like, pretend that if he cared, he might be just like, oh, you know what, maybe I should sell now. Even I have a lot, and it'll never get to be $1 million. My stash will never be worth $1 million in 2020. So I'll just start selling now, and then everything would start going completely wrong in his life. So what then? And he'd only have 20% allocation in Bitcoin because his mom, because his best friend, said it was a silly thing, Bitcoin. No, this is an outside the box thinker. So this is why you've got to become disciplined and not care what your friends think, because they're not really your friends if they're going to judge you that way. All right. So now it's time for the questions. Should I start at the beginning here? I'm going to scroll to the top and see if anyone followed my rules here. Questions. Is selling a few Ethereum for a lot of ETC a good idea or not? Yeah, that's fine. Why not? You're already in. I don't tell people to buy altcoins, but you're saying you already have Ethereum. So going back to that guy's question, if you don't own Bitcoin, by the way, if Bitcoin, if for some reason, like your dad should be diversified in many things. He shouldn't just be in gold. Your father should be in gold. He should have some real estate. He should have a little bit of stocks. He should have a few things. He shouldn't just be in one thing. But this Bitcoin thing is a completely new asset class. And I'm not saying you should never just be in Bitcoin. I am not just in Bitcoin. I own real estate. I own a house. So I'm not just in Bitcoin. So if we break this down to the cryptocurrency level, should you just own, well, how about if you just own Ethereum? How about if you don't own any Bitcoin? What would I recommend? This was not the question, but how about if you, this would be a strange thing. If you only own Ethereum and it makes up 20% of your total assets, what should you do? Well, you clearly have discipline if you're into cryptocurrency. I don't know. I would not bet. I would get some Bitcoin. I would get some Bitcoin if I only owned Ethereum. I think that would be my advice to that made-up person. But okay, going back to this person's question, I don't tell people to buy altcoins. I just tell people, you know, if you have enough money to lose as a speculator, there are a few altcoins which are okay. And obviously Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are those. Now, right now, Ethereum is obviously on fire. It's being hyped up. But those familiar with my videos know that I am worried about Ethereum's future. I think there might be a hard fork. And you know what? I don't know. The ICOs could hurt it. Andreas Antonopoulos, I'm going to link to a video in my next soon, but you guys can check it out now. He just did a video about Ethereum and these ICOs, and he said that the ICOs are basically the biggest threat to Ethereum's reputation right now. And that translates into, if they have another DAO because of an ICO, it's going to hurt the price of Ethereum. And as a lot of you know, I believe Barry Silbert, who's a big-time Ethereum Classic holder, is just waiting in the wings to pounce upon Ethereum once something bad happens. Meaning that he's going to say, we have the real Ethereum. Ethereum Classic is the real Ethereum. And then all of a sudden, all the naive people out there who've never even heard of Ethereum Classic are going to pile into Ethereum Classic, because you can do everything on Ethereum Classic you can do on Ethereum. So I would, to make the short answer is, Ethereum Classic is still an insurance policy for Ethereum. It's always good to have insurance, isn't it? So selling a few Ethereum for a lot of ETC is a good idea based on the principle that you need to have, that having insurance is a good thing. Ethereum Classic, I should actually write that saying down. ETC, I'm going to use this. ETC is ETH, insurance. That's going to be a new one for me. New saying there. Look, you see how people see how so all day long, I'm running around, I'm doing all sorts of things, and I come up with ideas. I'm thinking of my shows all the time, and it's great to make these shows, preparing for these shows. You just say, you read so much, you stay so up to date with all these issues. I mean, I am just tip of the spear right here, knowing what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. Okay, so next question. My question is better to own one whole coin? What if I cannot afford an entire coin? No, if you can't afford an entire Bitcoin, buy bits of it. You go to Coinbase and buy bits of it. No, don't wait to buy an entire one, because you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. I've been telling people for over a year, just buy a little bit of it. If they would have bought a half a Bitcoin when it was $300, it would have cost them $150, and now it'd be worth whatever, over $1,000, $1,100, whatever. Yellow Fever says he's still waiting for me to come to Las Vegas. It's funny. I was talking to some guy who wanted to put on some conferences, and he was mentioning Las Vegas, and I said to him, the last time I was in Vegas, of course, was in September. As many of you know, the videos came from there, and I just don't like Vegas. I can't stand the heat. I can't stand the fat people, the smoking, the unhealthy living, the gambling, which is just horrifying. Gambling's horrible for you, for your soul, for everything. And I told my friends, because my friends and I were all out there for a very special occasion, and I said, I am not returning to this place. This is only the second time I'd ever been there for a few days. I said, I am not returning to this place unless I'm totally comped the next time. If there's some conference that wants to pay my way to be out here, pay for the hotel room, pay for everything. And so the guy I'm talking to wants to put on a conference where I'd be totally, you never know. I might return to Vegas, dude. Again, I'm only returning to Vegas if everything's being paid for, and I'm, I don't care if I don't have to speak or anything like that. It could be for anything, just to hang out. I don't like that. I don't like it there, man. It's a sad place on a certain level, man. That's not the kind of person I am. If you can't afford one Bitcoin, learn money management. Someone says, well, yeah, well, that guy has a point. But yeah, but again, don't discourage the guy. Don't discourage the guy from buying bits of Bitcoin. Don't discourage him. But yeah, work your way up, man. You'll get discipline. You'll get discipline, man. Just get discipline. And by the way, I'm drinking some water right now. Do you know I don't know the last time I drank something other than water. It might have been 2 years ago. I might have had a little wine at something once. I don't drink any alcohol anymore. I think it was at Passover. I had a teeny sip of wine 2 or 3 years ago. You're supposed to drink wine at Passover. I don't anymore. I just drink water. So my point is, if you only drink water, you save a lot of money, because I know you guys like soda and Gatorade and horrible things like that. Hey, hello, Meister. I'm from Venezuela. Hello, Carlos Zambrano. He uses the name of a baseball player from there. I wonder if that's his real name, or if he's just honoring Carlos Zambrano. I do like your show, so I would like to know your opinion on storage and DGB. Well, I don't know much about those ones. Digibyte and storage, I have no respect for them, I guess, because I never tried to research them. So I have no interest. I don't have interest. There's a top tier of altcoins for me, and beyond that, it's just not. I have no interest, and so I don't have an opinion. And people ask me these questions. I appreciate your question. But these things are risky, guys. I say just buy Bitcoin. You guys you want the world. You're dreamers. You're like, my coin's going to be the next one that goes parabolic. Mine's going to be the next one. And you want me to say that. You want me to confirm. That's why you ask me. That's why you ask anyone these questions. You ask Tone these same questions. Different people, they want confirmation. They want to know, like, oh, the guy on the YouTube thinks it's going to happen. I can say that they're the greatest things in the world, and it doesn't mean a thing. I can't change the future. And the future probably isn't too good for I only think long term. I only care about, what's my investment going to be worth in the future, not I'm not trying to flip something tomorrow here. I'm not trying to look at me trying to fix this mohawk though. Jeez. I'm not trying. You have to be able to make fun of yourself, man. This is pretty funny to have this hairdo, isn't it? Look at this. Who's this guy with it? He looks like a chicken or something. Look how like a dinosaur there. You gotta make fun of yourself sometimes. But no, seriously. Think long term. Your coin in the year 2020, Bitcoin is going to be doing, from now till then, will be doing excellent compared to your coins. That's what I think of your coins. Oh God, I hope I'm not going to lose this guy's place here. Oh wait, someone says can everybody hear me all right? Can everybody hear me? I think they can. So someone said they couldn't hear me. That would be terrible. That would be terrible if they couldn't hear me. Okay, so I lost my place there. So let's go back up. Let's go back up here. Okay, I just pounded that like button. All right. They're not making this too easy, the YouTube people. All good, Adam. I keep losing my place, guys. This is not going to be fun if this keeps happening. All right, I don't want to miss anyone's questions. Oh man, what do you think about Stratus? I'm planning to hold it for 2 to 3 months. Same thing I just said about the other ones. South America right now, someone says, okay. All right, what up? Yeah, hello, all right. Someone links to an article. That doesn't mean anything to me. A few months. What is your main reason, trust, why Bitcoin will still be around in 2020 and not some other digital world reserve currency? Oh, come on. It's so big. It's so dominant. It's what all the developers are working on. It's what everyone's working on. It's not going to implode. It's been around for much longer. 2020 isn't too far away, dude. It's like you're asking me, why is it going to be still around in 2.5 years? It's not that hard. My bank account versus my crypto, okay, 30%. What happens to Bitcoin miners when SegWit activates? Does it make mining less profitable? I've heard different. I think it does I think a little bit for some of them, at least it does. But obviously the status quo is more profitable for them right now. That's what's obvious, because they're just stretching this thing out. Posting this to Steam it for you now. No, you know what, Barry? Barry, you don't post my video on Steam it. I mean, I post my own videos on Steam. I appreciate the thought, dude. I mean, you can say Adam is about to go live on there, but don't post my video. Don't make money off of my video. That's very impolite if you're trying to do that. I post my own content on Steam it. So, I mean, you can link to it. I just don't like use my stuff to make money off of. I mean, I work hard on this stuff. I post my own stuff at my own rate. So, I mean, if you're going to link to it and just say, hey, Adam's live, click on this link, that's great. But if you're like showing it live on your page or something weird like that, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Thank you. How much will Bitcoin be worth in 2020? More than today. How about that? It's going to be worth more than today in 2020. Man's man. Yeah, man's man. All right. I want to hang out with James Bond one day. Dude must be living it. No, I mean, Roger Moore died. That was sad, wasn't it? Someone asked, how's the women in Cyprus? Well, you know, I haven't met any really. I don't rely on meeting women. I mean, when I was younger, I used to like to do that and stuff, but you have to, if you're going to be a man's man, if you're going to be an independent man, you can't be there to like honor women. You can't be there to like waste your, because it takes time to get women. You got to put in a lot of effort. And you're much more productive when you don't have to worry about women. So if if I meet someone, I meet some women. There's some good looking women here. I think in Portugal they were better looking. I mean, this place is filled with a lot of tourists from England and Russia, and they get weird. They're very white. They get red burns on them. But some of the Yellow Fever says, disclaimer: Adam has never paid for T-shirts. That's probably. When I was not many, I haven't paid for many T-shirts in my life. I haven't paid for a T-shirt since college, to tell you the truth. Probably. No, I donated to my college, Washington University in St. Louis. I sent them some money. They sent me a free T-shirt. That was a donation, so I guess that's different. And I only donated it to them to get the cool green T-shirt. Where is it? I mean, I should show it to you. My Wash U T-shirt. I've worn it before. Yes, how's Cyprus, and why did you move there? All right, that's a great question. I didn't move here, dude. I travel around the world. I just live in some place for a month. I live in some places for 2 months. It's just my lifestyle. That's the lifestyle when you don't, when you work for yourself. But Cyprus I'm in Paphos, Cyprus, which is a beautiful beach town. I don't get to go to the beach too much, but I can see it from my window. And the guy whose place this is an awesome guy. I'm taking great care of his place. So it's relaxing. There's no mention of Bitcoin here at all. While I was here, I went to Israel, and there was much more mention of Bitcoin in Israel. All right, I'm going to lose my place. Oh, no, I'm not going to lose my place again. Yes, so I didn't move here permanently, people. I'm going back to the United States on the 15th. Please stop talking and answer some questions. Okay, that was a joke by that guy, but come on, dudes. This is, we're going to do it this way here. What is your main reason trust why Bitcoin okay, I already answered your question. Okay. Listen to your crypto Jesus. Someone called me crypto Jesus. Trust me, I'm not crypto Jesus. Jesus was Jewish, and I'm Jewish, but that's about that's about as much as we have in. I mean, there are a lot of people who think Jesus is all these other things, and I just think he was. If there was a Jesus, he was a Jewish guy. Adam, my question is, if the miners don't activate SegWit till August 1st, 2017, you wrote it the European way, then there will be 100%. then will be 100% user activated soft fork. So BTC scale 100%. Okay, I think this dude is asking if Bitcoin is going to split on that day. If everyone's 100% behind it, then it won't. So that would be great, but I'm worried about that. Obviously, I want there to be. What I'm worried about is I just want one Bitcoin. We have to avoid two Bitcoin. We have to avoid. And what I mean by two Bitcoin is when there's two very vocal, legitimate claims to being the real Bitcoin. And you have to remember that the people who are against SegWit, because of owning certain things like Bitcoin.com, will have a claim if they have a certain percentage of the miners. And so we have to examine the scenarios a little bit closer. I'm not, I think it's great to have this user-activated soft fork as leverage over the miners. That's where I am right now with this. Again, we're not at August 1st yet. People shouldn't be panicking. There are all these panic questions out there. This is a process. Let the process play out here. Let the process play out. How did you learn your views on money? I've appreciated your views, and I think it comes with age to an extent. And this guy says he's turning 30 in a couple of weeks. All right. So it comes with experience, obviously comes from experience. But what shaped it since this decade, the beginning of this decade, I started discovering this libertarian stuff, this Doug Casey, and I started realizing that, the way things are, that there's an outside, I've always been outside the box. I mean, I haven't worked for anyone. I've worked for myself for many years now, many years, since last decade. And so I've always had that, but everything didn't start coming together in my head in terms of I don't know, never being in debt at all, just always looking at interest rates, that there's a cost of everything, and that you don't have to, I always knew you didn't have to work for someone else, but just passive income and just saving and living as cheaply as possible and just finding shortcuts for everything. My brain is wired in a way that I can find a lot of shortcuts. But Doug Casey's philosophy, that really inspired me a lot. And I mean, some of these internet people really, like the market ticker guy, Mish, these guys influence certain aspects of the logical thinking. And some of the political views, Doug Casey saying that democracy is just mob rule with the suit on. He's absolutely right. And statements like that just expand your mind to a lot of different things, ways of looking at life. So you start to look at money differently too. So my big project, which got me on my way, was getting a bunch of people in one block in Baltimore to buy up a bunch of ghetto houses and basically move to them. So I bought my house for $41,000, and it was over 3,000 square feet. And I mean, that was a huge lesson in just I didn't have a mortgage. I didn't have anything eventually. I mean, I didn't have any expenses. I didn't really fix that. I was a guy just partying in that house. And so I didn't need to fix the house. And so there were no expenses. It was so cheap. And it's just it kind of shapes your mind a certain way and just shows you a new way of looking. So I'm not opposed to people. That's why you can't care about status. Live in a bad neighborhood. I mean, there's some pros and cons. You can't have a kid and a wife if you're going to live in a bad neighborhood, because they could get hurt. Seriously, man, there's some bad dude in that neighborhood in Baltimore and Reservoir Hill. Man, they're child molesters, and they're killers, and people selling drugs on your front lawn and stuff. I mean, bad dudes, man. But there's if you're a man, they basically respect you, and they're not going to try to kill you per se. Anyway, I'm rambling on. But yes, so. Unique experiences have shaped me, so yes. But try something out, try something different. The younger you are when you start, you get off the path. You don't have to go to college. If you're not going to one of the best universities, You see, I sound hypocritical. I went to Washington University in St. Louis, which is one of the top 20 schools in the United States, and obviously costs a lot of money now. But it was a great experience. I mean, it's like 4 years of Disneyland with all these smart people. So that shaped my discipline a lot. I didn't know it back then. I look back now and like I worked very hard there. And sometimes you wonder, why are all the people working so hard? Well, some of them are trying to be doctors, trying to get in graduate school. But like when I went out into the real world, they didn't like ask me what was your GPA or anything even. I mean, they just judged you on who you were. But at the same time, it was such a great experience. I learned that made me a really disciplined person. I would go to that library and that business school every night. Every night I'd go to the business school library, and I'd end up checking ESPN.com for the Orioles score. But it taught me some discipline, definitely. All right. What is it here? Richard Nixon is here. Jacob Cards, great video, Adam. A lot of investing is philosophy of living. One of your better videos. Thank you, Jacob. You're a good guy. You're a good guy. Jacob he's into Steam and we have disagreements, but he's curious. He is a curious guy. He's made videos, so I respect him. When do you think proof of work and proof of stake issues split will happen for Ethereum? When Vitalik says so. And so we will know. They do actually, I think they might even have a date. I'm not that familiar with the situation. So it'll be up to Vitalik in the end. And again, he is a genius. But if he goes proof of stake, there's going to be a part of some of those guys that stay proof of work. So it'll split, and there'll be 3 of them. And he's going to think it's the best thing to do. He might already, and people point out to me, he's probably already diversified into Bitcoin, into all sorts of other things. He's probably very rich, and he might not just care. This just might be an experiment in Internet 3.0, as someone said. And I forgot who said it on my comments, but that was a great thing. Someone shared, Barry said, shared on Twitter, it's steaming for you. I head out the door. Again, Barry, I hope you just like link to it on Steam it. Thank you. But thank you for tweeting it out, though. All right. Let's see. Barry's got to go. True discipline is holding more than one coin and holding through dips. Well, no. True discipline is just holding your Bitcoin for a long period of time. If you hold some other coins, I guess that's discipline too. You didn't panic sell your Ethereum or whatever. That's cool. That's cool. Of course, I was missing this. Adam, did Amanda Johnson leave you hanging in the wind today? No, she at the last second she told me she had a problem. She could not appear on air. So I was given about a 3 hours warning, I think. Whatever. She says she's sorry. She said next week. So I mean this happens sometimes. People flake on you. That's why I have an intern now. All right. Adam, when are you coming back to South Africa? That's a great question. I want to see my buddies down there, Lauren Gamaroff. They're going to have a Steam event there. I'm apparently going to be invited to the Steam event. I don't want to give anything away. I don't know. I don't know if I could go. Anyway, I would love to go back to South Africa. I really enjoyed my time, and I've seen now Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Port Elizabeth. I'd like to see I'd like to see Durban, the large Indian population. That's fascinating. I guess I'd like to see Pretoria. I'd like to see it's a beautiful country. It is the hub of that region. I'll just leave it at that. It's unfortunate that Zimbabwe and Mozambique, they could produce their own food, but they have to import it all from South Africa. It's very, really unfortunate for those two countries. Do you have any prediction for Bitcoin in August in terms of volatility? Well, leading up to August, if it's not unanimous, there's people going to have to get used to. It's going to be like a roller coaster. There might be a good rumor one day, it'll go up 600. A bad rumor one day, go down 600. In August, if they actually do the user activated soft fork and something goes wrong or there's 2 Bitcoin, it's going to get wild, man. I'm just hoping for but here's a prediction. If everything gets solved, it's going to go to the moon, man. We're going to be popping champagne. So let's hope for that. Any smart contract that works on Ethereum will run on ETC. So if ETH gets hacked or bugged, they can move their apps to ETC. Exactly. So there's your upside to ETC. That's why it has remained Adam's #1 speculation for those who can afford speculations, which is hardly anyone, because most people are in debt. I mean, okay. Vegas is tough. I'm going back to Cali. Oh, that's the name of the song. Going back to Cali. Have you learned something new about using Steam as platform lately? I'd say if you build up a following if you post there every day. There's some advice, I guess. Okay. You don't go to Vegas at bad times of the year. I don't go to Vegas, dude. I'm sorry, Yellow Fever, man. I'm sorry. I know you live there. I don't know. It's not my style. Darn it, I just bought Ethereum. Well, you paid a lot for Ethereum. That's a lot. God almighty. Let's see. We should chill. I don't know if that dude's talking to me. Anyone else investing in PIVX? Soda's poison. I use it to get rust off things. Good. It is poison. I agree. Pound that like button, people. Pound that like button. I forgot to tell everyone to pound that like button. 109 live viewers. Awesome. Pound it. Or maybe I said it beforehand. I don't know. Do you think BTC will go down? What's that now? 2,400? Yeah, there's going to be some volatility. There's going to be volatility. Go up and down. In the long run, though, 2020, it's going to go up. I try to think long-term, people. That's the big lesson here. Thanks for all the content. Love the show earlier today. Thank you. Please, everyone, watch that show earlier today. And pound that like button for this show and that show. I buy mineral water occasionally when I'm having a one-person party. PIVX is okay. Hello from Greece. I think Greek people have not caught up to Bitcoin yet. What do you think? No, they haven't. Hardly any people have. Hardly any Americans really haven't either. It's okay to speculate in these markets if you're a skilled trader with Forex experience, but the normal people will burn themselves. And yeah, you're right. But over 95% of the people are normal. Probably only 1% of the people are skilled. No, less than 1% are skilled traders. Remember that, people. You're not a skilled trader. Any thoughts on small-scale mining? We have one Litecoin miner playing. I think it's a very bad idea to mine anything. Sorry. It's too much. There's there's dangers, all sorts of dangers. Huge Chinese competitors out there. I mean, I would advise no one to get into any sort of mining whatsoever. There's so many other things. Look what I've done in this space, guys. Look what I have no mining skills. I'm not a programmer or anything. I've built up a marketing brand here, a news show, a consultancy. I mean, I don't know about this mining thing. You can go. So this space needs so many marketing people. It needs a lot of marketing people. I can hear you. Someone says good. I can hear you now. All right, Lisbon. I see. I just lost my place again. Well, we got all sorts of stuff being thrown around here. I lost my place again, guys. Sorry. Gravity doesn't exist, someone said. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot. So here in the middle here, wherever I am, there's Universities are a joke, someone says. I should research the flat earth. Oh, that's interesting. I currently lost my job and I want to be my own boss using cryptocurrency. Can you give me some tips how I can do this? I maintain a family, but I believe I can pay myself with. We have a family. That's hard. Save. Just keep saving money, man. Keep saving money. Go to Steam It. Why don't you go to Steam It? Post about your situation there actually, and you'll start earning some steam that you can turn into Bitcoin. Make a YouTube channel. Talk about your story. Make yourself public. Make yourself public. Put yourself out there. Ask for a Bitcoin donations. Always include your Bitcoin address. You never know. People might contribute, might give you some ideas. I think marketing is always a good answer for people. Put yourself out there. People have contacted me about wanting to, partner up and stuff. Okay. Ooh, we see we got some interesting things here. Wow, that's fun stuff. Fun stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm losing. All right, let's keep going. Some people are talking about the flat earth, so that can be a little bit of a distraction. It's weird. The flat earth is one strange conspiracy, isn't it? All right. I'm just going through. People try to write. I should have said this at the beginning. Write question before your question. All right. All right. Those who want to stay proof of work will move to ETC as difficulty bomb is built. Well, that's possible. But still, there are going to be people. There's always someone. It's going to split into two, man. God, we've got all sorts of people in here today. There are 113 live viewers, and I'm sure some of them question. In a show with Jeff Berwick, Trace Mayer said that one should do verification of one's Bitcoin. I have some Bitcoin in a paper wallet. How do I verify them? You know what? Someone else asked me that question. I don't know what he means by that. If you have it in a paper wallet, that's another thing. I would just upload the private key, then try to send. That's verification enough for me. But yeah, someone asked me about that before. I didn't exactly know what he was talking about. I had to give it a little bit more. I'm not a tech guy. What the heck? All right. Oh, here we go. Ain't nobody got time for, look at it. Look, people, this is funny. Question, should we gold and hold user activated software? Of course, gold and hold through it. I'm holding through it all. Look at this. Wow. Let's see. Tone Vase. Do you need to verify if it's in a paper wallet? You don't need to verify if it's in a paper wallet. Thank you, Tone Vase. Thank you. I'm glad to see that's really Tone Vase. Are you invested in Decred? I have like 3 Decreds or 4 Decreds, but I like Decred in terms of I think it's going to be part of the top tier altcoin chart. It is one of my top tier. It's the only one that's that most people don't have in their top tier. I don't know most people. It's top tier. It's the governance coin. There's got to be a governance coin, and that's their thing. Are altcoins in a bubble, or do you think it's due to a new flows of money into crypto? It's a bubble, but it is due to new. It's both. They're in a bubble, but it's a new money is flying into crypto. So, and all these ICOs. Boss Lady says, question, can you tell us anything about D10E in Tel Aviv? Yeah, actually, I did look into that. You know what, Boss Lady? This is a very interesting question. You're not going to like this answer. So, there is an event in Tel Aviv. I believe you're talking about there's a conference, that's going to take place there. Some kind of economic conference that involves blockchain and stuff. There are people all over the world that have their own conference companies that put on these really generic conferences in different cities that cost a lot of money. And the people putting them on don't really even know about Bitcoin. They just use a lot of names, and they have a lot of pretty women working at them usually. And there's not a lot of substance behind them. It's not something I would want to go to. I want to have a Bitcoin. Look at this here. I want to have a Bitcoin conference where like it's hardcore, it's cheap. People actually come out of the conference like meeting people, knowing people, networking, having new businesses. What these things are, what that thing in Tel Aviv is just something that goes from city to city all over the world that just charges a lot of money and has pay-to-play speakers at it. So it's unfortunate. When is Zencash going to be able to be traded on Bit? I don't know, dude. I don't care. Again, you want to be involved in a pump and dump. It's a risky thing. What trace means is that you are using SPV phone wallet. You want to route transactions through your own node. Translations through your own node. Tone says, hey, dude, you guys take care of that tech stuff. I'm glad Tone's here. He's answering my questions. Look at him. Adam, great show. Like your audience. Bitcoin cold storage holds strong. But research. This guy at the end, he says, but research. Flat Earth is real. All right. Very funny. All right. Good investment, cheap. Oh, we're getting done here. And I see now it's did I miss anyone's questions? Because it starts flowing at the bottom here. In a world full of ICO hounds and Ethereum crack junkies, Tone and Adam are a refreshing voice. Thank you. Here in the UK, Ethereum is the focus of the hipster pumping. Bud, question: is it make sense at all to talk about the fact that most crypto is way more decentralized in runtime than those who own funds in it? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Is that a contradiction? I don't know what you exactly mean by that. All right, Trezor or Ledger for newbies? I don't know. Trezor, I'll go with my first love there. The flat Earth theory takes advantage of feeble minds. Yes, it does. BitcoinMeister, you are a cutie. Thank you. Verify your transactions by running a full node. Okay, cool. I don't run a full node. I don't do that. As tech decentralized to 100,000 million nodes. Okay. All right. Flat again. Look at this flat Earth. Come on. This is funny. All right. I don't see why anyone has reason to buy Dash and other coins. I don't either. What can we use them for? I don't know. Bitcoin and Steam I can use. Well, you can use Steam. I would not. Don't buy Steam. Don't buy Steam. Just earn it. Tone-based Adam. I highlight the question I'm reading so that when I lose my place, it's that is good. It's a good idea, Tone. Tone is very smart. Question: I have been making a lot of profits in altcoins. Should I routinely move my profits into BTC and ETH? You should definitely be moving your profits into BTC, of course. I don't know about not Ethereum, just Bitcoin. Just don't take the risk. You'll be happy. Okay. Some people need to think outside the box. All right. Yes, people do. It's not funny. It's sad. I don't know. I guess I'm talking about the flat earthers. They are kind of sad. Go ahead, believe. Okay. Boss lady, I'm with you on that. The whole point is to correct people. Okay, connect people. Yes, connect people. It's good. I like to connect people. Keep key for newbies. Okay. Learn astronomy. Well, yes, people learn astronomy. It's such a beautiful universe. Oh, so we have to aim for the stars, everyone. Yeah, and truth teller, if you don't diversify out of your altcoins into Bitcoin, you will lose everything, as Tone says. Like, don't just have dollars sitting on the exchange or something. Just move it to Bitcoin and store the Bitcoin on your Trezor. Environmental scientists and research scientists, no flat Earth. Yes. Steam is already more popular than Dash. I don't know how you judge. Maybe it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Question. Let me put this differently. Does this sound odd? 1 million Ethereum nodes agree that 10,000 own lots of Ether. Why do we need such a huge consensus that few people are rich. I don't know, just as it's the way they do it. I don't worry about that. Okay. Steam is the second most used blockchain on a global level, transaction-wise. I guess, I don't know. That's good for them. I like the Steam It platform because gets newbies used to cryptocurrency, eases them in. What do you think of Ethereum Classic? I respect Ethereum Classic a lot. I like how it's big. It's Ethereum for Bitcoin people. That's what I think it is. Because the Ethereum people were saying how great Ethereum is. Well, this is Ethereum that has a cap, that has no founder, that has moral authority, high ground. It's not going to backtrack and split and bail people out and stuff. Tone-based and add-on videos should be shown in every school. Well, people can choose what they want to watch. No one should be forced to watch us. Here's someone that says it's just smoke weed. All right, don't think that's very good for people. I've seen it really hurt people that I care about, close friends of mine. My family, it's funny. My family's just like me. And it's no coincidence, is it? If you're raised by a family that doesn't do drugs, you tend not to do drugs. My family doesn't drink at all. I never seen my parents drink. I don't think my mom has ever drank. So no, no one in my immediate family has been affected by drugs, but I have had friends affected by drugs. I agree. Live a simple life and let your Bitcoin grow, baby. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions, people? Questions? Hey, brother, big fan of your work. I wonder what your thoughts on Ubeak. Hey, man, I have no thoughts on Ubeak. I don't know it at all. And again, there's a lot of altcoins I don't know at all, and they're incredibly risky, and you really should try to stick with Bitcoin. When there's just these, yeah, I know you want your altcoin to go to the moon. You think it's going to be the next one. I don't know a thing about it, and I'm not going to be the one that lies to you and say that I know it's going to do well, as I don't know a thing about it. Hey, how do you travel the world if you don't work and never cash out any BTC? I do. I have income streams. I work. I consult. You hear me? There's some investments I have, and you can do it for real cheap, dude. You can do it for pretty cheap. I saved again. I forget to say the most important. I've been preaching that the whole time. I have saved money for years. When I was living in the ghetto of Baltimore, you know how much money I was saving? So you save. Just save. You can keep on saving. Save forever. Save. I got stashes of stuff here and there. What do you think about XRP? I think it is that Ripple. Again, Ripple is centralized. I don't consider it a real cryptocurrency at all. I'm sorry. I think Tone-based has the best Ripple video on earth. It explains what Ripple is. It literally is the best Ripple video out there. Google it. It tells the truth about Ripple. That is what I believe about Ripple. The Tone-based video. I forgot the other guy that's in it, that really smart guy, that Canadian dude. Adam, you rock. Silly question. And it shouldn't be listed on CoinMarketCap. It's an embarrassment. I disagree with that. Because it's just centralized. And they're going to dump it all one day. The founders and everyone's going to be very sad because it's going to go down in value. Well, not everyone, because I hope most people are smart not to hold it for 1 second. Silly question, but what happens to Bitcoins who are misplaced or lost, such as when someone loses their wallet, or they're lost forever? They're lost forever. And so they won't come back in circulation. So there aren't going to be as many Bitcoin in circulation as we think they're going to be, because so many are lost. Yeah, someone predicted what I was about to say about Ripple. Good prediction. How can I live on crypto? I lost my job and I think I can live off my investment. Can you give me some tips? Well, there's Jose Hernandez. Aren't you the one that said you had a family? You can't. You got to take care of family first. You can't. There comes a point, if you have a family and you have no job, you might have to cash out some of your crypto to like eat or something. Dumpster diving is and art in the West. If you live in a major Western city, you can get a lot from dumpsters, clothes and food. But again, no, just don't don't try to live off of crypto if you have debt and you're poor and stuff. Again, save your regular income, then work for yourself. All right. Getting out of debt. Wait a second. Someone wants. Okay, never mind. Now I just lost my place again. Oh, here we go. Tone Bate said thank you. That's cool. You were still in Israel travel? Are you still in Israel? You are still in Israel? No, I'm in Cyprus. I was in Israel for a week. I hope to go back at some point soon enough. I do want to go back to Israel again. Definitely. I had to spend more time in Israel. I am in Cyprus right now. Yes, that was a question. I hope I didn't skip anyone's question. I have better control. Okay, yeah. All right, let's keep going here. Get another job question. Did the massive buys by a few people, groups of the BAT ICO drive the sale of Ethereum way up? I thought about that. Some of the popular ones probably have a great effect on the price of Ethereum. You say you don't gamble, but crypto investing is the same. Dude, I only buy Bitcoin. You're right. I don't gamble. You're right. I don't like gambling. That's why I don't buy third-rate altcoins. I don't even buy, the Monero I have was all given to me. Thank you, people who support the channel. So like all these altcoins I have, they weren't even bought. Like I got some Ethereum when I was naive in the days of the crowd sale, which turned out to be okay, didn't it? That I got 20 Ethereum for $6. That turned out to be luck, total luck. I'm not one of those guys that goes around and says, I'm Ethereum rich. Oh, I bought at the crowd sale. No, I say I bought $6 naively at the crowd sale and I got lucky. And so I don't gamble. And so no, I'm not contradictory. I just picked up some, okay. Profit is profit. You think it's wrong to ride bubbles for profit? It's dangerous. That's why I don't recommend people do it. I just think long term here. All right. Okay, I'm almost done this now because I've definitely been on for an hour now. Question, who is Tone Bays? How do you spell his name? He's a guy from Russia originally. And I've heard of him. I don't know. He's into Bitcoin or something. Peter Todd. Tone Bays is Peter Todd was the name of the guy. His crypto scam podcast with Peter Todd. Do I trust Tone Bays? No one asked that question, but I think someone asked Tone a similar question. And I do, you know what? I met Tone Bays in person in Chicago. He's a good guy, and we are online friends, definitely. Would I trust Tone Bays with my private key? No, of course not. You don't trust anyone with your private key. But Tone Bays is a very respectable dude, and I mean, he knows his Bitcoin. So in terms of like, you got who you listen to online in terms of Bitcoin, you got to listen to respectable people, not people who believe in the Shemitah. If you got some guy talking Shemitah, and then all of a sudden the Shemitah doesn't happen because it was a total scam, BS. Why are you going to listen to the dude who talks Shemitah? Like, you're just going to forget about that he ever talked about Shemitah. It's so funny how naive people are, though, how gullible people are. They believe anything. A dude's talking about Shemitah for a year, then it doesn't happen because it's total nonsense. And then people are like, that guy knows about Bitcoin. And but Tone, on the other hand, this is a guy who's logic. I mean, God, he stands for a lot of stuff. He won't even buy Ethereum. Dude is the most hardcore dude in all of cryptocurrency in terms of like standing for stuff. And so I am happy to call Tone Bays my friend. He is a good guy, very good guy. But you guys got to be careful of the other dudes that are out there. Real careful. If someone says they have a magical prediction machine, you got to be real careful. And by the way, the person who promoted Shemitah, I will never be on that person's show, ever. If you paid me, I wouldn't be on that guy's show. And that's just my stand, because I thought that whole Shemitah thing was such a big joke. And that guy is a big joke. And it's doom porn. I don't like people who just, that's my stand on that. Is that like, if you're going to be a doom porner and then just forget about it, that's just wrong. Don't get people in that mindset. That's what I'm against, is doom porn. And the Shemitah thing was wow. I'm using my crypto profits to pay my student loans. Okay, well, you don't want to be in debt. That's good. Try to just have some Bitcoin. But if you had huge debt, you got to get rid of the huge debt. Someone's talking about a crowd sale. Okay, good luck. You got to show Tone your Bitcoin stack before he can make a decision. That's funny, dude. It's a Russia reference there. I don't know what he's talking about. People are talking about Russia. Question: why are Russian hackers the best in the world? Well, they study mathematics out there. I think they're big in mathematics, so they're just prone to do those things. It gets cold and they stay inside all the time. I don't know. Wow, we have people like to say some crazy things in this chat. Some really funny things. Really funny stuff. Really funny, entertaining. Question: why did you go to Cyprus? Oh, why did I go to Cyprus? It's a beautiful country. Beautiful country. It's a place to relax. All right. It's a beach, man. There's a beach out there. I'm at the beach. Where are you all day? I mean, I'm at the beach. I'm right outside the beach. It's fun. All right. Someone's talking about silver. Wow, this guy there's a guy using some foul language there, aren't you? Oh, look at that. Look at that foul language. That's not very nice. Yeah, I don't curse, guys, when I'm on the air. I have respect. I know there are kids watching this and stuff, so I don't like to use foul language. I went to a premier university, so I like to talk like a mensch. Oh God. All right. Thanks, BitcoinMeister. Gave us some great information. Let's look at some of these. Someone asked a question. This is an interesting question. Who did 9/11? I remember that day. And these planes crashed into the World Trade Center. And it was really sad. A lot of people died. A lot of Americans were on those planes. There were some 15 guys, I believe, from Saudi Arabia that were paid by a man named Osama bin Laden, who was trying to get at the United States for a very long time. Was unhappy about U.S. foreign policy. He's from a wealthy family. And he was able to, kind of work outside the box and we have such a huge bureaucracy here that you can be like, you can work outside the system, and if you have people willing to die for you, you can do a lot of things. You can cause a lot of trouble. And through religion, he was able to convince 19 guys to kill themselves and hijack some planes and kill a lot of people and bring down some buildings. And they also attacked the Pentagon that day. So it's something we should never forget, that a small group of people can cause a lot of problems. And we also have to remember that when people die, you couldn't do on those planes, and to make a joke out of it is sickening. It's absolutely sickening to make a mockery out of the people who could have been you. It could have been your sister on those planes, and you wouldn't really find it very funny or entertaining if people made a mockery out of it. And if you had something to do, if you were there that day, you were probably pretty happy because people don't get away with those type of things. And when Osama bin Laden was killed, I'm sure your people were very happy that day. Because he got his in the end, and that was good. That he was killed for what he did, the destruction he caused that day. And we should never, when I'm in Manhattan, and I look at the buildings that are there, and I do think of that day sometimes, and I just try to live a fuller life, because a lot of people, you hear the phone calls that were made on that day from the building. The men who are now on their age, some of those men who worked in finance, who were calling they were calling their wives and kids and stuff. And it was, to make a joke of it, it's just, it's sickening that people live in such doom porn hole to make a joke out of what happened that day, make a mockery out of what happened that day. Try to make money off of the lies that people say happened that day, off of the weird conspiracies that people have made up about that day. And that day, the simple things that happened on that day that I explained very simply here, people died. And the whole industry, the sickening doom porn industry that has come out of that day. And I can, and you hear the recordings of the men who are now on their age, who died, who were screaming, calling the operator, saying, "I want to talk to my wife and kids." And then, you hear it falling down and they die. And that people make a mockery of it it's very sad. It's very sad that people make a mockery of it. It really is sad that people try to make a profit off of making lies about it and stuff. And that people died and those buildings really fell down. People were in. It's to say it didn't happen. And to say it didn't happen the way it clearly happened is a disgrace. It is a disgrace, and it is doom porn. And I would just, if you think about the lives that were lost, it'll just give you the power to live a better life for yourself and not to get deep into these crazy rabbit holes, because you become unproductive and you just waste a life. And you just remember that 3,000 people died on that day, and they were just living their lives, for God's sakes, people living their lives. And it was just, they died for very, very little. They died for something if you just honor them and you remember them and you don't make a joke out of the whole thing. And you try to live a positive life, just a positive life, people, a positive life where you don't get stuck in these holes, because so many of the people who scream this insanity about what happened on that day, they don't live lives. They just make up story after story after story. There are people out there they want to make up their own version of the truth, and they feel they're special, but they don't realize that it's just, they're mocking reality. And I mean, how could you say all these things after hearing the men in those buildings, call their families when they're about to die? And I'm a guy who says, you shouldn't have a wife. I mean, you can have a wife if you want to have a wife, but I'm the type of guy that's like, whatever, live your life as a free man. But if you already have a family, I mean, maybe some of those guys didn't have wives, they were calling their mothers. I mean, I can't imagine that's such a horrible way to die. I mean, hey, Mom, I had something that the house everything's on fire, everything's falling. I mean, I'm gonna die now. I mean, or, oh crap, the building's falling on me now. It's just terrible. It's terrible that people have to mock it, have to try to blame other people for it. You know, when the guy said he did it, Osama bin Laden, they're proud of what they did. They wanted to declare war on the United States. That's how you do it. What is the craziest conspiracy theory you actually believe? I don't believe any conspiracy theory, dude. I mean, I don't believe any conspiracy. What is it? I mean, you want me to say the earth is flat like these nonsense peddlers? You want me to say that there's going to be a Shemitah? There's going to be the world's going to end next week or something? No, I live a positive life. Live a positive life. I mean, obviously there's sad things that have happened, and you learn from the sad things. I mean, you learn. It's emotion. You see the emotion coming out in me there. I want to live for those people. Anyway, again, there's just so many of these people. I wonder how many of these people were really young or not born when that happened. Again. All right. Well, there's no real questions left, Dan. I'm kind of glad we talked about, you know, a little bit about conspiracies at the end, because it's weird. The internet has a lot of people that want to talk about conspiracies, and when you're involved in the finance world that we're all in, people have the craziest stories. And they just like to, I guess there are a lot of poor people that get involved in the Bitcoin, and they just want to like make up excuses for why they're poor or why bad things have happened to them. And they just get into these stories. They want to feel like, I've got the secret answer. I've got this. There's no secret answer, people. There's no secret answer to life. Live life to the fullest. Work hard. Be smart. Save. Don't give in to hyper consumerism. You'll be fine. What is the price of the Bitcoin halving in 2028? More than the Bitcoin halving in 2024. What's the best altcoin? No, I don't know about the Factum, Digit. They're not good, any of those. No, I'm not even going to answer. Okay. Yeah, so some people don't like that. I like that. I feel bad that people died on that day, and that this what I saw happened. What happened. People don't like to talk about the truth that it happened. That Osama bin Laden sent terrorists against the United States and was able to hijack plane and take down tall buildings. People don't. I mean, it happened. And if you don't like that, if you want to live in make-believe, then you won't like this channel very much, I guess. I mean, I'm just a straight shooter. All right, any more questions? Nope, no more questions. All right. Well, I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Remember, hey, pound that like button. We are going to have another Ask Me Anything. It's probably going to be July reports about all the. I'm not wasting my time. I saw what happened, dudes. Why waste your time on something that happened so long ago? That's another thing about these conspiracy theories. You guys are wasting so much of your lives on it. Okay, I'm out here being productive. You know, making a life around Bitcoin, making a life around the biggest, newest technology out there, and there are people obsessing over lies and stories about something that happened a while ago, when what happened was obvious, what happened was tragic. Don't obsess over a tragedy. Move on. Move on. So what would happen if I said, you guys are right? Then like the 8 years you were talking about it and worrying about it would be worth it? Come on. It's like people spend so much time on this conspiracy theory stuff, and people have made a business out of it. So I guess that's why the people who are selling you this stuff, they're making a lot of money off you guys. But you're spending a lot of time reading their BS when you're not. You could be being productive with Bitcoin. And at this point, this video is no longer productive because people are just there are no more questions anyway, but I do thank everyone for their questions. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll have another one of these Ask Me Anythings, July 2nd or July 3rd. I'll keep everyone updated. Pound the like button. See you later.